There are maps of the world we know, the familiar continents, the blue oceans, the lines drawn by politics and time. But beneath this surface layer lies another geography, a landscape etched not just in ink and parchment, but in mystery, in forgotten knowledge, in the very echoes of lost civilizations. These are the charts of antiquity. Maps created when the world was younger, vaster, more terrifying, and infinitely more magical. Some seem impossibly accurate for their time. Others depict lands that shouldn't exist or portray reality through a lens so alien it challenges our own perception. They are more than just guides. They are time capsules, whispering secrets of human ingenuity, ambition, and perhaps knowledge we have long since forgotten. Join us as we navigate the uncharted territories of ancient cartography, seeking the truths hidden in plain sight. Our journey begins in the bustling heart of the Ottoman Empire, in the year 1513. An admiral and cartographer named Piri Reis presents a stunning map to Sultan Selim I. Compiled from numerous source maps, including, Piri Reis claimed, charts captured from Christopher Columbus himself, it showed the Atlantic, the coasts of Europe, Africa, and a remarkably detailed depiction of the newly discovered Americas. For centuries, it was admired, then largely forgotten, until its rediscovery in 1929. And that's when the questions began. The map depicts the eastern coast of South America with surprising accuracy, especially its southern reaches. But it's the bottom edge of the map that ignites controversy. Some researchers see a landmass extending eastward from South America, a coastline eerily resembling Antarctica. But here's the true mystery. Antarctica wasn't officially discovered until 1820, and this depiction, if it is Antarctica, appears to show it without its massive ice cap, revealing topographical features hidden beneath miles of ice today. How could Piri Reis, or his ancient sources, possibly know this? Was this evidence of a forgotten, technologically advanced civilization that mapped the globe before the last ice age? This is the tantalizing theory proposed by writers like Charles Hapgood, that Piri Reis had access to maps from a lost maritime culture. However, mainstream historians and cartographers urge caution. They point out inaccuracies elsewhere on the map. They suggest the Antarctic coastline might be a continuation of the South American coast, perhaps based on early sailor reports, bent eastward to fit the parchment. Or it could be a representation of the legendary Terra Australis Incognita, the theoretical southern continent many believed must exist to balance the northern land masses. The debate rages on. Was it a lucky guess? A skilled compilation incorporating flawed data, or a genuine echo from a forgotten epoch? The Piri Reis map remains a powerful symbol of cartographic mystery, forcing us to question the linear progression of knowledge we often take for granted. Let's travel back further, to the 12th century, to the cosmopolitan court of King Roger II of Sicily. Here, a unique collaboration unfolded between a Norman king and a brilliant Arab geographer, Muhammad Al-Idrisi. Commissioned by Roger, Al-Idrisi embarked on an ambitious project to create the most accurate map and description of the entire known world. For 15 years, Al-Idrisi gathered information from merchants, pilgrims, explorers, and existing texts in Arabic, Greek, and Latin. He synthesized this vast knowledge into the Tabula Rogeriana, the map of Roger completed around 1154. Accompanied by a detailed book, the Nuzhat al-Mushtaq, it was a monumental achievement. Unlike the Piri Reis map's potential anachronisms, the mystery of the Tabula Rogeriana lies not in what it shows, but in the sheer scale and accuracy of its depiction of the established world for its time. It was arguably the most advanced world map produced in the medieval era, drawing from Islamic, Christian, and classical traditions. It depicted trade routes, climate zones, geographical features, and cultural centers with remarkable detail. Think about it. In an age often dismissed in the West as dark, here was a project of immense scientific rigor, thriving in a multicultural melting pot. Al-Idrisi's work corrected many errors of earlier cartographers like Ptolemy and provided a foundation for geographers for centuries. The Tabula Rogeriana doesn't hint at lost continents, but it reveals something equally profound: the power of collaboration, the synthesis of knowledge from diverse cultures, and the incredible heights reached by Islamic science and geography during the medieval period. It reminds us that progress isn't always linear, and brilliance can flourish in unexpected places. Now let's leave parchment and ink behind and journey to the vast expanse of the Pacific Ocean. For millennia, Polynesian navigators performed feats that astound us even today, settling islands scattered across millions of square miles of open water, often without sight of land for weeks. How did they do it without compasses, sextants, or traditional maps? One of their most fascinating tools survives today, particularly among the Marshallese people: the stick chart. These are not maps in our conventional sense. They don't depict land masses with pictorial accuracy. Instead, they are abstract representations of the ocean itself. Crafted from strips of coconut frond or pandanus roots tied together with senet cord, and often marked with small shells representing islands, these charts map the unseen forces of the sea. The straight sticks often represent consistent ocean swells, while curved sticks show how those swells refract and bend around islands. The intersections reveal patterns, zones of calm, areas of confused waves, that a skilled navigator could feel through the hull of their canoe. Imagine learning to read the ocean's invisible language. These charts were mnemonic devices, teaching and recording generations of accumulated knowledge about swell patterns, currents, prevailing winds, and the locations of islands relative to these dynamic forces. The mystery here isn't an anachronism, but the profound depth of empirical observation and abstract representation achieved by a non-literate culture. Polynesian stick charts challenge our very definition of what a map is. They demonstrate that sophisticated spatial understanding and navigation don't require paper or satellite technology. They are a testament to human ingenuity, deep ecological knowledge, and a completely different way of mapping reality, one woven directly from the fabric of the ocean. Let's return to Europe, to the High Middle Ages, around the year 1300. Here we find maps that look utterly alien to our modern eyes. The Hereford Mappa Mundi, the largest known surviving example, is not a tool for navigation, but a window into the medieval mind. Oriented with east at the top towards the rising sun and the location of the Garden of Eden, It places Jerusalem squarely at the center of the world. Continents are crudely depicted, surrounded by an encircling ocean. But, geographic accuracy wasn't really the goal. This was a theological map, a visual encyclopedia of Christian history, morality, and belief. Look closely, and you'll find biblical events interwoven with geographical locations. You'll see depictions of monstrous races, believed to inhabit the unexplored fringes, creatures born from classical legends and travelers' tales, symbolizing the unknown, the sinful, or the other. The mysteries here aren't about lost lands, but about deciphering the symbolism. Why Jerusalem at the center? It represented the spiritual navel of the world, the site of Christ's crucifixion and resurrection. Why paradise at the top? It was the origin and ultimate destination. The monstrous races? They served as a warning, a boundary marker between the Christian known world and the pagan unknown. The Hereford Mappa Mundi matters because it reminds us that maps have not always served the same purpose. Before the age of exploration demanded precision, maps could be tools for spiritual orientation, for reinforcing a worldview, for telling the story of humanity's place within a divinely ordered cosmos. It's a map less of the physical world and more of the medieval soul. The allure of a prehistoric Antarctica, mapped before its icy entombment, resurfaces when we look at other intriguing maps, predating the Piri Reis chart, but printed later. Consider the 1531 world map by the French cartographer Oronteus Finaeus. It prominently features a vast southern continent, Terra Australis, surrounding the South Pole. Again, proponents of the lost civilization theory point to this. They argue the shape of Finaeus's continent, particularly its coastal outline and suggestion of internal features like rivers and mountains, bears a resemblance to the actual landmass beneath Antarctica's ice, similar to the claims about the Piri Reis map. Finaeus himself stated his map was compiled from ancient sources. Could these sources have contained genuine knowledge of an ice-free Antarctica, passed down through millennia? It's a captivating thought. However, context is crucial. Renaissance mapmakers were heavily influenced by the classical Greek idea, promoted by Ptolemy, that a large southern landmass must exist to balance the continents of the northern hemisphere. Terra Australis was largely theoretical, a placeholder for lands yet to be discovered. Finaeus's depiction, while visually striking, includes features inconsistent with Antarctica and fits the common tropes of speculative geography at the time. Most experts believe these maps show not a memory of the past, but an expectation of the future, a filling in of the blanks based on theory, conjecture, and perhaps incorporating vague reports from the earliest voyages into southern waters, which mistook lands like Tierra del Fuego or Australia for parts of this great southern continent. While the resemblance can seem uncanny through modern eyes, it might be a case of pareidolia, seeing patterns in randomness, combined with cartographic convention. The Oronteus Finaeus map, like Piri Reis, sits at the fascinating intersection of knowledge, speculation, and the enduring human desire to fill the empty spaces on the map. It highlights how mapmakers grappled with the unknown, sometimes projecting theories onto the parchment as vividly as known lands. From scrolls whispering of ice-free lands to charts woven from ocean swells, from theological diagrams to the painstaking synthesis of global knowledge, ancient maps are far more than static representations of land and sea. They are dynamic records of human consciousness. Each line drawn, each symbol placed, reflects not only what the mapmaker knew, but how they knew it, what they believed, and what they dreamed might lie beyond the horizon. The mysteries they contain, the anachronisms, the strange perspectives, the forgotten techniques, challenge our assumptions about the past and the capabilities of those who came before us. Perhaps the greatest secret hidden in these ancient maps isn't about lost continents or forgotten technologies. Perhaps it's about us, about the relentless human drive to explore, to understand, to locate ourselves within the vastness of the cosmos. The act of mapping the world, in all its diverse and wondrous forms, has always been intertwined with the act of mapping ourselves, our fears, our beliefs, our place in the grand unfolding story of existence. What truths are still waiting to be unearthed, hidden in the lines of a forgotten chart? The search continues. Thanks for watching Past Matter.